to slap my meat for a little bit. Just had to do it. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone's Wednesday going? Man, look at that big piece of meat. That's what she said. Got tri-tip here. Who knows what a tri-tip is? Anyone know what a tri-tip is? 1 second, I have to answer that. Dude wants to place an order for 18 whole hams. That's a fuck ton of hams. Holy shit, I just came back to 527 people. Holy shit. Sorry, didn't mean to just disappear. I'm a meat department manager. Had a guy ring my bell. This is a tri-tip. Whoever was guessing what the meat would be, you were wrong with the flank round. This is a tri-tip. Anyone know what a tri-tip is? Anyone familiar with tri-tip? Know how to cook? I love to smoke them. From my understanding, there's some people kind of east that don't really know what these are, / can't really get these at a good price. I got these for $8.99 a pound for a roast and $8.99 a pound for a family pack of steaks this week. Is that Wagyu tri-tip? Nope, this is just CAB, which is certified Angus beef. That is a choice grade. Just gonna go ahead and shave this on out. Holy shit! What's up, YouTube? How we going? Don't know what a tri-tip is. You're missing out. These things are fantastic. I'm just gonna take this top layer of the silver skin off. Just makes it look a little bit more pleasing to some people. What we're just gonna take off is a little bit of fat right here. It's kind of pretty. Knife I am using, this is my 9-inch Knife Pro Cutlery fillet knife. Available in my TikTok showcase at the very top of my TikTok profile. Very good quality, very affordable knife. So once I get that all nice and trimmed up, I'm just gonna go ahead and set that off to the side. That's a pretty nice sized roast. So I'm gonna use this for some steaks. If you aren't aware, everyone here on TikTok, I am also live over on the Red Play app, also known as YouTube. Don't know how much longer TikTok's gonna be here, so if you do enjoy this content of me slapping my meat, making some inappropriate jokes, playing with my meat, just teaching you something, you can follow me over on YouTube. I post videos over there as well, shorts, longer videos. I have a couple like 30, 40-minute long videos over there of me just cutting down meat, all one video, multiple pieces of meat. Not doing no TikTok videos for it. So if TikTok does disappear, one place you would be able to find me at is YouTube. So Walker, thanks for the follow. Butchery. I see what you were doing there. It is not unfortunately called butchery. It's butchery. And this is actually just meat cutting. I'm not really doing any butchering over here. This is all just prettying it up. You can kind of just think of me as a person who gets it all pretty for you, you know? That would be a really good roast though, so I'm gonna put that into it. Oh, we're lagging. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch, we lagging. Fucking Verizon. I swear to Gert. Come on. What's the best knife for me? It just really depends on what you're comfortable with. I really like this Knife Pro Cutlery brand. The quality is really good. I haven't sharpened my knives in basically a year. I got these sent in fresh at the beginning of 2024. So beginning of January, I received this knife, and I had one other knife. It's a green handle, but it's not my favorite for being back here with. When I'm at home, I'll use it to cut up my steaks. But my 9-inch fillet knife and my 11-inch steak knife, they have a little bit different purposes. One's gonna help me trim up all the itty bitty stuff, all this stuff that just kind of hanging there, you know what I mean? Kind of just looks like some snot. Best YouTuber ever. Hey, I appreciate it. That's a good comment. I really appreciate that. I wouldn't consider myself the best, but I appreciate it. What am I cutting today, everyone? That is my mom right here, Molly Haregi, author, creator. YouTube, you're not going to see it, but everyone in TikTok, that is my mom right here. Author and creator? You heard that correctly. My mom's a book author of a vampire trilogy called Fated, a vampire trilogy. It's a really good read. It's a great series. So if you like reading, you know, you like that supernatural, you know, someone who likes reading and likes that extra, you know, oomph to the story that's not normal, I highly, highly recommend Fated, a vampire trilogy. You can find it on Amazon. You can also click on my mom's page and go into her link, and it should be up in her link tree. Where do you find the book? You can find it on Amazon, or you can go to her TikTok page. We got Christmas coming up, so it'd be a really good Christmas gift for someone who likes reading. You know, someone who likes reading. It's coolest ever. Where do you work at? I can't quite say where I work at, but I do live in the Twin Falls area, and I do work at a small little local meat grocery store in the meat department as the meat department manager. So all we're doing is pretty much prettying some of this up, just getting this excess silver skin out that doesn't really need to be here. This is another really big roast, so I'm gonna cut this one down to some steaks. Just prettying up this top layer. This backside, it's really ugly, so I like to just take a small little portion out to get it down to where that fat's out of there. Got another roast right there. Do nice work, sir. Well done. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the comment. Good thing you're wearing a cutting glove. The way you handle the knife, you look like a beginner. With that comment, if you've been here long enough, you know that I'm only wearing this because my hand gets cold. But if you really think that I'm that amateur, let's get at it. I cut how I'm comfortable. You got a problem with it? You can go watch someone else. Or better yet, you can come find me and we can have a meat cutting competition. I bet I'll whoop your ass at it. Lots of waste, no waste at all. I'm taking off all the stuff that everyone would buy this roast and come back and yell at me for it. So I'll just go right here in this bucket. Make some ground beef at the end of the day. Sorry, I'm trying to get someone out of here. My phones are clean. I wipe them down before every live with the clean rag, sanitize and soap. So I take a little bit of time out of my day to actually clean and sanitize all my belongings. So no worry here. I was trying to see if I could get them out of my video, but so we got another roast right here. Haters seem to always find something to come in and distract me with, so I'm sorry about that. Can I show how I get my knife sharp? I can do that. I'm gonna put my gloves back on though because sticky hands aren't fun. Where's this? This is in Idaho, great old Twin Falls. Sorry, had someone say that I wear a cutting glove because I look like a beginner. I show them that I wear a cutting glove to keep my hand warm. 58 people over here on the YouTube. Oh my God, I appreciate every single one of you. If you ain't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. All right, we're gonna start cutting this down to some tri-tip steaks. So what I do here is, as you can see, we got the grain kind of running kind of sideways. So we're gonna cut it at an angle to make sure that we cut it against the grain. I'm gonna switch up to my 11-inch Knife Pro steak knife. It's a big old piece. Just kind of helps get through the whole thing in a nice one fluid cut. Didn't offend anyone. It'd just be a little bit nice to know that if I'm cutting a certain way, not everyone cuts the same way, not everyone eats the same way, not everyone walks the same way, not everyone talks the same way. I've abused my body playing sports, fucking around out in the sticks, jumping off cliffs into water. How I handle my knives, it's just comfortable for me. Just all it is. Got a beautiful looking tri-tip right here. Set those off to the side. Dawn Sean, thanks for the follow. Been cutting meat for about 6 years now. Love tri-tips. I love barbecuing tri-tips. Cutting tri-tips it's all right. Excuse me. Oh. But my favorite to cut up would be the top sirloin. It's super satisfying. Readjust so the YouTube can see. A lot of people will say that you don't need to be putting small steaks in your packages. I put it in for the barbecuer's benefit, you know? We're out there barbecuing, slaving away, we're smelling all this meat while it's cooking. We're starving while we're over there just slaving away on the grill. This little piece though, it's gonna get done dramatically quicker. So this is a snack. This is a snack for the chef. That's why I put small pieces in. Have you ever jumped a fowl hole in Hagerman? I haven't. That is definitely a sharp knife. Well, you can get yourself one up in my TikTok profile. In my showcase link, you can go ahead and just order yourself one right then and there. So these really long pieces, I like to cut them in half. This gives me an extra steak. 4 in a package. For a family pack. Got offered your own market. I would love my own market. Or like my own actual shop, like my actual shop. I get to do what I want, when I want, how I want, at the price I want. That's what I want. Steak. Best cut for steak and eggs. It just depends on how bougie you want to get. Obviously, ribeye is going to be your best cut. Ribeye is a little bit of an expensive cut though. Or you can do you can step down a notch and you can get a small little tri-tip steak if you're wanting. But again, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Not as expensive as a ribeye. Or you can do sirloin tip, which we will be doing right after we're done with this tri-tip. We got 2 bags of sirloin tip to do. Those are usually a pretty good, cheap and affordable steak. And they're usually thin cut a little bit, so they're gonna cook super quick as well. Or you can get a top sirloin. Sell tri-tip steaks for $10 a pound. I have tri-tip on sale for $8.99 a pound this week. Just gonna put a small little tray in this one. My smalls are still full out on the counter, so I'm just gonna try and make a cheaper, not as heavy, smaller steak family pack package. Someone might see it and be like, I could grill those up really quick for my kids. And we'll make this one really good package right here. Oh my goodness, my meat. It fell out. Matter of fact, since we're just doing it like that, might as well just stack them all in one tray together. Alright, so now we got these little itty bitty pieces over here. We'll go ahead and make these into some stew meat. I smoke my meat as well. Japanese A5 Wagyu ribeye and eggs. That's going to be an expensive steak and eggs. Most expensive steak and eggs you will ever have in your life. I smoke everything though too. It's been a little bit since I've been on my barbecuer. I just moved somewhere and they don't let us barbecue in the new facilities. What temperature is it in my meat room? It is 40 degrees in here right now. It feels a little bit colder because it's like 36 degrees outside or something like that. Maybe a little warmer, but I'm freezing back here right now. All right. Let's see if I can slap my meat and get some more people on TikTok. Maybe I just need to disappear again. I don't know. Everyone disappeared. Probably all vegans. Have a barbecue stand here in East Tennessee. That's what's up. 42 degrees in your room. Yeah, I'm very cold back here. Started processing your own deer burger. Hey, there you go. If you could hunt, if you could just get a couple tags a year, go and hunt, buy some tools to help make you some other meats when you're at home, you know, like grind up your trim, the pieces that you don't want to do anything with, make it into ground deer. You could save a lot of money just going out and hunting every year. Now these things can be very ugly. Sometimes they could be not as ugly. I got a very ugly one today. So as you can see, we got this piece and it's just falling apart, right? So what we're gonna do is, what I normally start is right here in the center. I like to call it felt. It's not, I don't know what else to call it, but this is where the meat was resting against the bone, or the bone was resting against the meat, and it's a protective layer. It's very smooth. Got a little bit of meat on that one. Take it out real quick. It's a very smooth layer of whatever you want to call it. But I don't put this, I don't leave it on the steak, I don't leave it on the roast, I don't put it in my trim bucket. I throw it away. I see people put it in their trim buckets. I've done my research on it, and I know that if you cook it and you try and eat it, it doesn't taste good at all. So my thought process is, even if you grind it and it's gonna get it down into very meaty, very small pieces, and you probably wouldn't even be able to notice it, I'm still gonna throw it away because it don't taste good. Why just put it in there? You know what I mean? Blended Johnson, thanks for the follow. Membrane, I wouldn't call that a membrane. Your membranes are more like kind of like when I'm splitting this right, or not. I guess it's not splitting this, but not a membrane. It could be a membrane. I don't know. I didn't pay attention in biology. Biology was only cool when you got to start dissecting things. But as you can see, this is a really ugly piece. We got a little bit of, I don't even know what to consider this. I would consider it like a bruise. Like if it was a bruise before it got like completely, all the blood drained out of it, you know, it kind of bruised up. But we can kind of come in here, we can use this for some stew meat in some of these areas. Like I can clean this up. I'll set this off to the side. We'll come back and put that and cut that in some stew meat. Kind of just look at the rest of this. See that it's really just gonna be a waste of my time to really try and get it all cleaned up for stew meat. So I'm just gonna put it in my trim bucket and we'll come back to it later. Or not come back to it later, but I'll grind it down into some ground beef. So now that we got this belly kind of pretty much all nice and prettied up, it still kind of looks a little bit ugly. Could go out to those outside pieces. Anything that's just kind of hanging there, I'm gonna take off. Anything that looks unappealing, like this fat right here, it's soft and it's kind of slimy. It's not hard fat, it's not that I want to cook with you fat, so I take it off. There is cook with it fat and there is take off fat. There is that. You don't, not every fat is going to be good. Some fat is not good at all. When you get that really stringy, soft fat, you don't want that. At least in my opinion. My professional opinion. Your knife looks sharp. Well, thank you. It hasn't been sharpened in a year. The only thing I do is hit it on a steel, which is this thing right here, and that just hones the edge. But once we got this thing all nice and trimmed up, you gotta slap it a couple times. And then we're gonna go ahead and split it in half because we're gonna use this into some steaks. Low-key like cutting knuckles. They're not too bad. When they're really ugly like this, I'm really not too big of a fan of them. This is like one of the ugliest knuckles I think I've actually ever cut, but yeah, I see a vegan just showed up in the chat. What does slapping it do? It's entertaining. It's fun. Who wouldn't just want to slap meat? I know if a woman came back here and they saw a meat, they just want to slap it. You know what I mean? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and follow this. It's almost like the seam right down here. You cut right down the middle and it just basically follows that seam. So that's what we do. That's what I do anyway. So we just... Whoop it! We got 2 roasts now. First off, we're going to do it this side. This is a dream for vegans. This is a nightmare for vegans. First things first, as you can see, we got this piece that kind of like to spread it's kind of like spreading open, you know? Meat spreading it open. That's the front. The back doesn't have anywhere you can open it. The front has that spot, you know? So right there, I'm just gonna square it up. Because you wouldn't want that as a steak. If you open that out of the package and you were like, what the fuck is that? That's the initial reaction you'd get. So I see if I can do anything with it, like stew it up. I don't like it, so trim bucket. What I mean I don't like it is the meat kind of felt a little flimsy. Meat cutters know what I mean by it felt a little flimsy. And when you cut that meat up into stew meat, the color of the meat tends to turn a little bit quicker. So instead of it putting in a stew meat package and ruining the stew meat package, I'm just gonna grind it down. And then bada bing, bada boom, nothing to worry about. Sally McKnuckles. Never heard of that. I don't know if that comment on YouTube is for me or someone in the comments, but it's for me. I don't care. Am I vegan, bro? Oh, definitely, bro. Just let me. No, I'm not vegan. What the fuck? But we're just gonna go ahead and cut down now. And this is where you get your sirloin tip steaks. Come on. Sirloin tip steak right here. These big pieces tend to be a little bit more flimsy, if you know what I mean by a flimsy piece of meat. I don't mean, yeah, I guess it could actually still be a soft piece of meat too. It's not a hard piece of meat. Again, meat cutters know what I mean. Non-meat cutters, y'all are probably thinking I'm just trying to make a dirty joke. And I might be, but I'm also being like legitly honest as well. Sloppy meat, yeah, it's like floppy, like it doesn't want to hold its shape. Is basically what I'm saying. It doesn't want to hold its shape. And when you get this last little piece, what I normally do is I'll take off this little seam right here, this little seam down here, and I'll use that for some stew meat. And then this will go into the trim bucket. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steaks out of that half. Come over to this other side now. Now we got a little bit of, you can't really see it, but when the vacuum bag, when that bag was sealing, it kind of, again, only meat cutters meat butchers or whatever, they're really gonna know what I'm talking about here. But it kind of sucked a little bit extra out of the meat, so we have a little bit of a. God, I really wish I could show you, but it does. Yeah, it's not showing. I need to take out this like little top layer right here. It's not good. Like, it's gonna change the steak color in a couple days. What is what I mean by not good? So I'm gonna shave it off. Like dried it out basically. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Basically dried out that top layer, and so it just looks a little funny. So we're just gonna get right past that first top layer and get it out of there. Dry it out. Yes, exactly. Dry it out. Who cares? I care. My meat customers care. People who want to know care. If you don't care, then you can get the fuck out. All right. So then, as you can see, we got this whole, it's like flat down here, and then we got this pointy part right here. We have this fat knob right here. It's a good indicator to tell which way's the front on this side. I like to go ahead and just cut that out because it's not needed. This front piece is always for stew meat anyways. So use that for some stew meat, which is too small to use as a regular steak. This is why I take this fat out. It just drives me crazy. We're just gonna start cutting our sirloin tips. Depending on where you are located, this might be considered your sirloin tip silver side. And then what I mean by silver side is this piece right here, there's all this top layer, it's silver skin. Normally this whole side is covered in silver skin, but we took that top layer off because it was dried out. And if you're doing some steak and eggs, this is actually a good roast, a good steak to do steak and eggs with. Gonna cook ribeye on your day off? Hell yeah! I smoke every piece of meat that I put when I do it, even my burgers, even my hot dogs. I even smoke my hot dogs. All my trim goes into here, and that gets made into a ground beef at the end of the day. Excuse me. All right, everyone over here on TikTok, I got one question for you. Did you know I have a YouTube? Because if you don't, I'm also live over there right now. You can go subscribe, and you can even figure out that I post longer videos over on the YouTube. Same, I post some shorts as well. But if TikTok disappears and you are enjoying this content, the place to go to find me will be YouTube. So we're gonna go ahead and start filling these up. These bigger pieces get about 2 to a tray. Sirloin tip right there. It's family pack. Depending on where you are located, my family packs might be smaller than yours. What I mean by that is a lot of people tend to put their family packs in these bigger trays, these 25S trays. I use these 8P trays, which most people use for like ground beef, but it's just because I have a low volume store and I'm in a smaller little town. So if someone sees like a $30 package, they're not gonna want it. But if they see 2 $15 packages, then they'll buy it. It's just how it works over here. TikTok might think the meat is too raw. Well, we're not cooking it right now. This is all just for the for customers to go and be able to cook. See if I can get 3 in there. I'll put a little small. I'll sneak a little small one in there. Just get it in there. Or maybe it's a family of 3. You know, maybe it's mom, dad, and little Billy Joe, or little Sally. You know, you gotta put a little steak in there for a kid or something. You know, not every family's gonna be big. Haven't seen me live in ages. I'm live every Wednesday. And if you miss my live on Wednesday, you can find my live over on the YouTube page. You can find the whole, however long I was live, recapped over on my YouTube. So it's also another really good reason to be following me over on the YouTube, because if you miss these lives, you go back over to the YouTube and rewatch the whole live. So we're gonna be going back over here to another sirloin tip. These last two, we're gonna go ahead and put it in small packages. That's a silver side sirloin tip right there. And this is that first one. Me personally, I think the first piece that we take off is better steaks. They normally look a little bit better. That silver side's normally the more flimsier side. I think this one is going to be a more solid piece of meat. It's not going to be as flimsy or soft, I want to say, or as ugly as that last one. I hope. Oh my God, it's getting its juices all over the table. Oh no. Let me just clean it up a little bit. I know how that meat juice goes when it gets all over the place. You gotta wipe it up. You followed me. Hey, I appreciate it. Lamar, thanks for the follow as well. Not a white cloth, man. Can you cut me a 2-inch thick steak? If you come in and ask for it personally, I can't just cut you a 2-inch thick steak on my live though. I don't cut those. I can't sell them. So I'm just shaving this out. That'd be a good piece for like some stir fry if I needed some. Go ahead and use it. No, it's actually kind of dry up there on that top piece. We'll use that for some stew meat or ground beef. That'd be a roast. No, 2-inch thick cut steak is not a roast. It can be, depending on what you're cutting, but if you're going for a steak, it can be a steak. This is another peeled knuckle, aka our sirloin tip. I'm just taking out these little bits of fat that's just like staring at me that I can't just like stop myself from taking apart, taking off. So we got our silver side right here. When we split this in half, this would be considered our silver side because of all this silver skin. I know YouTube, I need to figure out a way to get a light over here for when I'm live. Need to get like a little ring light type of thing somewhere over here. I'm sorry, I really am. Could just need some new lights too. Could also help eventually. Just replacing all my lights back here with our new lights that we did get in sometime earlier this year. But just bear with me. I promise we'll eventually get it all figured out over here on YouTube, okay? I promise. That's just bleh. I missed the trash can, but it's still bleh. This one didn't, wait, did I have that piece? Yeah, I did have that piece. That piece that I took off right there in the center. Right? I did take it off, didn't I? Just making sure I didn't put it in my trim bucket, because I don't put it in my trim bucket. Okay. We good. We good. Morgan, hello. What's up with the comments, Gert? Everyone's just on one today. It's all good. Maybe I'll just start only going live over on YouTube. So if you just saw, if TikTok just sees me disappear, well, blame TikTok. I'm just kidding. Y'all want to be bullies? You're messing with the wrong person. So I'll talk shit back. Take off all this unnecessary fat and silver skin. This is a top or knuckle. This is our peel knuckle. Ew, that was a good last slap. For our sirloin tip steaks. About ready to cut this in half. After we get this last part right here. I swear these things are just like, no matter how many times you turn them, it just seems like it's just always more to do with these things. That's why I'm not too big a fan of them. They're not annoying or anything. I swear it's like, oh, okay, I'm done, I think. You turn it over, oh shit, there's still more. All right, I think I'm done. You turn it over, oh fuck, there's still more to trim them. Anyone else get that when you're trimming these? Where am I located, sir? In the Twin Falls, Magic Valley area in Idaho. Laugh your face. Thanks for the follow. Yes. How do you get the silver off easiest with the saver? Is that your Deadpool hoodie? I mean, it's a Jordan hoodie, but I don't go to work without it. Like Deadpool don't go out without his costume. How do you get the silvers off easiest while savoring as much meat? Sharp knife. A very sharp knife. Because you can get right under. You can get right under. Let me try and show you. You can get right under the silver skin. If I can grab it. Just glide across it, and you barely. There's literally hardly anything that gets stuck to it. So it's just all about having a nice, sharp blade. So again, we're just going to cut this in half. And now we get our two sides. We got our our sirloin tip, silver side, and a regular sirloin tip. Which I think this is the better steaks in my personal opinion. I just like the way they normally look a little bit better. Score off the front of this side. Again, just because it's just too small to really be a steak. If you got it, there's all this other extra ugliness on it, and you'd just be really upset if you got that in your package of steaks. So, trim bucket. We'll start cutting these down. I believe I had these on sale for $5.59 a pound this week. Pretty good deal, I would say. Chop meat out of your trim. What do you mean chop meat? How do you know what size is what? What do you mean how do I know what size is what? You're gonna cut off in half. You gonna cut it in half or what? Yes. Do you know when you taken off enough fat? Lisa Mon. Yeah, it's just more of a preference. You know, a lot of places. Like how I've been trained, like if it's loose, I was trained to take it off. That's just simply how I was, and the more I've cut meat, it's just how I agree to have it done. You know, if it's loose, I agree you should probably take it off. But with the silver skin, a lot of the time, it's thin enough, and you're cooking it over a high enough heat or an open flame that silver skin actually renders down. It like just burns up, almost like cotton out in grass, you know, light it on fire, and it just kind of just disappears. It's kind of like the same thing with the silver skin when it's really loose. So I like to take off the bigger pieces of fat or that extra stringy pieces of meat, so that it's just not unappealing. Take off my thumb, that would be fun. I'm pretty sure that would go against TOS. Pretty sure blood is TOS. So I'm okay on that. Nikki or Cardi? Nikki all the way. This came off the ball tip. This is our sirloin tip. If it doesn't have too much fat, will it be tough? No, just because it doesn't have fat on like the outside of it doesn't mean it's not going to be good. You're always wanting to look for that intermuscular marbling. That's that fat that runs throughout the steak. That's where you're really going to get a steak that's going to tenderize down. Because fat, when it's cooking, produces that meat oil, the meat juice, you know, and that helps tenderize meat as it's cooking. So if you get a piece of meat like your ribeye and has a fat cap on the outside, by all means, you don't have to eat that, but I do recommend you leave it on to cook with, as a professional opinion. Beef tallow, it's a little bit different. You have to boil it and render it down completely. Put it through a cheesecloth, squeeze it all out so you get all the bigger pieces out from all the liquid. And then you can store it. Votija, thanks for the follow. Sorry if I butchered that. Again, thank you all for the follows, new subscribes over on the YouTube. If I've somehow missed a gift, I don't mean to miss any gifts. A matter of fact, whenever there's a gift gifted, it's all but nothing but meat slaps. So if I've somehow missed a gift, I'm sorry. I appreciate it. Here's a meat slap for you. Also, I did go and see my mom this last weekend. There was someone who, someone gifted me some gas money to go see my mom over the weekend with my kids, and that's exactly what I went and did. So I do want to let you know that that's exactly where your donation went. What do the pads do? It soaks up the meat juice. So I put enough in here to help soak up all that meat juice, because when you go into the grocery store and you pick up a package of meat, it's got all that meat juice on the bottom. You're like, ew, just blood. It's not blood. It's myoglobin. Hemoglobin, myoglobin, one of the two. Like I said, I didn't pay attention in biology. But meat has this thing inside it called protein. It's the protein organisms, the little small microscopic organisms that inside meat called protein. As meat ages, that protein breaks down from that little itty bitty microscopic solid piece. It starts breaking down into this liquid. So that's where you get this meat juice. It's not blood. I mean, there could be a very, 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 very small amount left in the cow after the hanging process, but it's not anywhere near that. If you go and pick up a package of meat, you would actually be able to tell. Yeah, it's not blood. It's just meat. It's just protein. That's basically all it is. You can just and get some protein if you'd like. Cut up steak that I hate. Which one do I hate doing the most? I would say T-bone, just because it's stupid as shit to trim up and then cut it on the saw. Waste of money in my opinion. Or chuck roll. I don't not like chuck. I love chuck, but I hate cutting it up because it's a big old fucking honking piece of beef. And there's a lot of shit on it. Elena, thanks for the follow. Justin, thanks for the follow. Bone-in chuck. We actually don't deal with bone-in chucks here. Everyone like my little guitar. He played as a violin too. This is your New York strip loin. It's where we're gonna get our New York steaks from. After we trim up these pieces of meat. BJ, thanks for the follow. Now, what does that stand for, though? Benjamin James? My guy, how's it going? Do I eat beef each night? I unfortunately do not. Hey, YouTube, I'm sorry if I'm not like over there constantly looking. There's a guy in here. I don't know how to get him the fuck out of here. There we go. Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You know what, Stang? I'm gonna trust you with this, alright? Alright, Stang? Chat's up to you, Stang. It's up to you, Stang. Chat's all up to you now. Where am I located? I live in the Twin Falls area. I work in one of the surrounding areas. I can't specifically say which store I am located at, which I think is completely stupid. It's free marketing for the store, so I don't see what the problem is, but... Also, right before I went live, I had a guy come into the store, and I'm guessing he's 3 sheets to the wind already. This was like 11:30, so yeah, he was probably on his like 6th or 7th. No, he's probably on like his second 12-pack, second 6-pack, something like that of the morning. But he comes in. Says that a package of my Swaggerty sausage was rotten. I smelled it after the whole thing got dealt with. It was not. But he came in, asked my helper where his box cutter was, snatched it out of his hand, cut open 2 Swaggerty sausage rolls to see if they were rotten. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You had a question. What's your question? I tried to chuck steak for the first time. I was super pleased. I thought it was only for roast. Nope. Chuck steaks are actually really good. The chuck piece of meat is actually really good as well. I think it's awesome. I could watch this all day. Hey, I appreciate you all. That's a lot of areas, I know. That's about the only places that's about the only way I can explain where I work at, because I can't necessarily say where I work at. I'd love to, but I gotta give you a surrounding area. I will say it is not Smith's and it's not Albertsons. You gotta think grocery store level about that size. It's not Smith's and it's not Albertsons. It's most I'll help y'all. Make more dolphin noises, bro. I need dolphins for that. I gotta call out to my family if I'm gonna be making dolphin noises. Which state? Idaho. Fuck. Thanks for the dolphin. Kroger? No, I worked for Kroger for like a month and a half. Fuck that place. Thanks for the dolphin. I can't fucking do it. I can't right now. My voice is very low very low today. That strip has been wet aging for a while. It's just in the cryovac bags. I mean, I guess if that's what's called wet aging, I guess. But I've never heard of wet aging, if I'm being honest. I'm kind of completely caught off guard right now. What is that? Good vibes. Anime cuts. Thank you. Thank you. They cut everybody's hours at Kroger stores, actually. Did they really? It's probably because everyone's realizing that they're barely cutting anything in store anymore. The only thing they cut in store is beef. All their pork comes in pre-cut. All their hamburger comes in pre-made. So it doesn't surprise me. Hello from Tennessee. Oh, TMC Bridget with the 10 roses. Thanks for the roses. Right now you're getting 20 hours. Jesus, fuck. That's also one thing that I've never really liked about the big corporate companies. They always manage to do something completely that fuck their employees right before the holidays. So all I'm doing is on the belly of this strip loin, there's these little pieces of bone sometimes. It's not all the time. I've ran across a couple of these strip loins where there wasn't any bone on it. But this one has a couple pieces, very thin. So I like to just make sure I'm getting all the bones cut out so it doesn't go into my trim bucket. We have a Puma slicer. Nope, never heard of a Puma slicer, but I've heard of a Puma pants. Bridget with the 10 TikToks. Thanks so much. "15 hours until I contacted the union." Jesus fuck. Yeah, if you're unionized and you're getting, if you're working for Kroger and you're part of the union and you're getting your hours cut, I would contact your union rep. No, you don't want a machine cutting it for you. No, the machine gets hot. And if you think that little hot blade after a while just slicing, it's gonna get a little bit warm. It's gonna slice your meat, and it's not fully cooking it, but you're getting a little warm piece of metal touching raw meat. That meat's gonna go bad a little bit quicker. You're gonna go from a 5 to 6 day shelf life to like a 3 to 4 day shelf life. But once I can rub my hand along this long piece of meat, make sure there's no more hard pieces of bones in it. Go ahead and we'll trim up this tail. I'm moving to Idaho soon, not your area though? Well, shit. Take off this tail end. We'll get a little bit of meat up in here. It's not that big of a problem. Put that in the trim bucket, throw that away. And now as you can see, we got all this ugliness on this belly, all this white stuff. All that was once touching a bone. So if we leave it on here, it's going to change quicker than the rest of the steak. So like this belly piece will start to turn gray or green after a couple days while the rest of the meat's still okay. So we take off this belly. I do. If you don't, well, you might be in a bigger store, more volume. But here in these smaller stores, we got to take that off so that we don't have to reduce this piece of meat quicker and hope that we can get our full sell on it. So that's our trimmed up strip loin. It's a good way to play it's a good way to play. How do you cut it when it's dry? I haven't had any dry aged before. I've never done any dry aging, so it's the same way, except that when you take off when you do this trimming, normally on a dry age, all this is going to end up being bad. So you're going to have a thin layer of this pellicle that goes bad, which is normally going to be all this fat. You have to trim up a small slice off of each of these sides. You have to, usually they don't trim this part up until after they dry age it. So you would have to take that piece off. If you trim it up before, you're going to lose a little bit more profit. But usually when you dry age, pretty much all you get is a piece of beef. You don't get any of this outside fat on it normally. If it's a really thick fat layer, you might be able to get some of that fat to be able to stay on, but 9 times out of 10, whenever you're cutting dry age, from what I've been able to see online, it's normally just the meat that ends up getting sold because all this fat gets taken off. Yeah, contact the union. That's all. You don't go through your store if you ever have a problem with the union. If you're having a problem within the store, contact your union rep. I do know that, even though I was only there for about a month. Chuck, thanks for the follow. You rock, W, Mr. Beast, man. I wish I knew Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast wants to get in like Feastables and everything. I would straight tell him, scrap your fucking Feastables, give me a barbecue trailer. 5.7J. Thanks for the TikTok. That's mesmerizing. Me slapping my meat or what? I like to trim up my pieces as I'm cutting them. You see me cutting the very front piece off, like right here. There's this little nerve tendon thing right here. It's very, very, very chewy. It doesn't break down when you're cooking it. So when you end up going to take a bite of that top corner of your steak, you're just sitting there and you're just like, and then 5 minutes later you're like, and then 10 minutes later you're like, fuck, my jaw is tired. What the fuck? I've been chewing on this piece of meat for 10 minutes. Because you're chewing on a piece of tendon or nerve or whatever the fuck it is. But I take it off so you don't got to worry about it. Not every meat cutter does that. I do though, because I care. What's the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to meats? What are you trying to do? Because if the biggest bang for your buck would be a picanha cap off of your top sirloin. Shee-wee! My favorite piece, one of my favorite pieces of meat right there. If I'm trying to spoil myself, I'm gonna do a ribeye. But if I'm gonna have multiple people, like four people, 5 people that I need to feed, I'm gonna get a picanha cap off the top sirloin. And everyone's gonna be drooling at the mouth. But if you have money, you know, and you're just trying to throw a couple steaks down, ribeye, 10 out of 10 times. Filet mignon, filet McNaught, overpriced, overrated. I say McNaught because do not buy it. Okay, I used to go through A1 sauce too. I used to put A1 sauce on every piece of meat that I would eat. Ever since I've started making my own steaks, my own chicken, pork, I don't touch this shit no more. Go over to my stepdad's parents for the holidays. Where's the A1 sauce at? His dad. You ruining that piece of meat, you dumb motherfucker. Not exactly like that, but that's what he was thinking. He was calling me a dumb motherfucker, but he was, you're ruining that piece of meat. A1 sauce, why? Because the thing's dry. What do you mean, why? I don't buy no condiment for my steaks anymore. It's strictly a juicy, well smoked, well perfected cook. Exactly. If someone needs sauce, you effed it up. And when I go to any steakhouse, I have to put sauce on it because they fuck it up. I actually don't go to steakhouses anymore. That's like a legit thing. If I go to a steakhouse, I'm spoiling a girlfriend, or I was invited to go and I'm not paying for it. If I'm paying for it, we're gonna go get sushi. We're gonna go get Mexican. We're gonna go get Italian. Fuck a steakhouse. Mr. Bean, thanks for the follow. Salt and pepper is all I use. I love anything with garlic. I'm a big garlic seasoning fan. Garlic and herb. Kinder's has a good, I think it's Kinder's. Kinder's has a good one. I was a crackhead for the Bearded Butcher seasoning for the longest time. I actually had a code with them, Meatman 10, for about a couple months. But then they canceled their creator thing because they weren't getting too many people using it. Whatever. But the cool part is I could actually order Bearded Butcher seasoning to my store now. I could order it in through my department if I wanted to, which I think is actually pretty fucking cool. Thinking from the fact that I was using that seasoning when the only place you could order it was from them. I probably have to be ribeye, but I've always tried slow cook pull apart meat like chuck roast. Chuck roast is really good, especially slow cooked for pulled beef. You know, put it on some like tacos or inside a burrito or something. But ribeye is obviously going to be the most well-known steak, and everyone knows what a ribeye is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone knows what a ribeye is. Everyone knows what a T-bone is. Everyone knows what a New York is. Everyone knows what a filet mignon is. My honest opinion, if you're a meat eater, you should know that it's not all about price. It's about how it's cooked. Granted, yes, depending on who is cooking it, you probably want them to have a better steak so they can't fuck it up. Happy Camper sent a fast burst. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. W's in the chat. But it's not always all about the most expensive cut. If they're really bad at cooking, they probably need a really expensive cut. But again, if they're really bad at cooking, I wouldn't have them touch that really expensive cut. We're just gonna do a really big package of stew meat, or yeah, we'll just do a big package of stew meat. So this package of stew meat is gonna have every piece of meat that we just cut. It's gonna have some tri-tip in it. It's gonna have some New York in it. It's gonna have some sirloin tip in it. It's gonna be a good package of stew meat. So if you didn't know, sometimes your packages of stew meat is just a mix of everything that was cut. whatever, if they can mix it all in to get a package. You know, sometimes they can get a couple. We can get a couple packages of mixed meats. Sometimes we can only get one. So if I needed more stew meat, I'd go grab an eye round and I'd cut a whole eye round into 4 or 5 more packages of stew meat. So sometimes it's just one meat, but you can also get a mixed package. I'm also gonna go blow my nose really quick, so I'll be right back. Good tip, blow your nose with your gloves. Now you don't got no germs on your hand. So I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do a whole lot while I'm back here. It's gonna be cut some pork. We don't got a whole lot of pork to cut, but I figured I didn't have a whole lot of beef to cut, so might as well cut some pork for y'all too, right? It's gonna be very simple. Pork's the easiest thing to do back here. Pork is knife skills, basically. Whenever you get into the meat department, you're going to probably the first thing you'll ever cut is this big old wiener right here called a pork loin. I call it a wiener just because it kind of looks like a wiener, don't it? What's the thought on Australian Wagyu or even Japanese Wagyu? I've only had Japanese Wagyu, but for the people who think the Japanese Wagyu has too much marbling in it, Australian Wagyu is the way to go. Y'all talking shit about my wiener? It's just a pork loin, come on. Like, look at this thing. You need 2 hands to hold it. And I might as well scrape it so I don't get no crybabies in the chat. You didn't clean it. How about now? It's a bit floppy. I know. I don't know if that's a medical problem or not, but I do know the size hasn't been bitched about, all right? So we got this fat that's literally just hanging off. I'm gonna throw that away. Too much pressure, all the eyes watching. Yeah, I got a little bit of stage fright. I'm sorry. That's why I don't do that whole extra page, you know? It's knowing that everyone's gonna be over here looking, it's just gonna go from this to, and I don't need the extra. I don't need the extra judging. I'm sorry. There's some good places in Idaho to get some Mexican food. I will say there are some that aren't that good, but it's knowing where to go. Hashtag only me. Do I do deer? Unfortunately, here in grocery stores, all we can get are stuff that has gone through a USDA approved facility. So no, we don't get any deer because deer is wild and we don't know exactly what's going to be, any diseases they're going to be carrying. So we don't want to bring that into a grocery store to put it on our cutting tables. First things first with this eye round. I'm fucking retarded right now, I'm sorry. With this pork loin, we're just kind of trimming up this fat. Over here we have this little, it's like a chain type of, it's almost like a chain. It just kind of hangs out, makes the meat look ugly. So I take that off. And then if there's any super thick fat, I'm gonna go ahead and shave that out too. Looks like we're doing nice and good from over here. If you're ever worried about if you have any ugly fat that's going to be hanging out, you can flip it over, and if it's just hanging past, cut it out. The very front piece though, I like to square off, because ugly on this front side. It's usually a little bit of a wedge cut. So I lay it flat and I'll cut it in half. And then I'll get some country style, boneless pork country style ribs out of it. You can get a country style ribs out of pork a couple different ways, but almost any piece of pork you can get country style out of it. What we're doing with this today is we're just cutting some thin pork chops. So let's just get right to it. It's pretty simple. We're just gonna try and keep these nice and thin. Again, if you weren't aware which knives I'm using, this is my 11-inch I got flagged for hate speech. Everyone come over to YouTube. If I can see 300 people over here in YouTube, I will give TikTok the big old finger right now. Y'all want to come over here and tell me I'm doing hate speech? Y'all little whiny bitches. How about that? That's about the wiener joke? No, it said hate speech. Can't say the knife word. I actually have been saying it all year, actually. I haven't been flagged once. TikTok just being a little bitch. Got a bunch of bubble wrap little bitches. Do I make my own sausage with the pork trimmings? Unfortunately, I actually don't get too much pork trimmings. I also was the only one back here being able to really do anything the last year, and I didn't want to make sausage, so I tried to make it to where I don't have any pork trimmings. That front piece is about the only thing that would be wasted if I didn't need it, but I always need country style. So all right, how are we doing here? We got, it's pretty good. It's pretty all same size if I do say so myself, but we got, I do about the size. We'll do 6 in a package. 1 2 3 4 5 6 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Save this for a roast. What do you think, gentlemen? That's a good what? 15 inches? 15 inches? Using men's measurements here, about 15 inches, I'd say. Decent girth, give or take 7. Typical TikTok, basically. What am I cutting up? I was cutting up a boneless pork loin into some thin pork loin chops. I'm actually going to take one more pork chop off here so I can make a country style package. I forgot about that. So we'll do, boom, just one pork chop like that. Cut it in half. And we got our country style right here. Back to this. No diddy, no diddy. Got no baby oil back here. Don't gotta worry about that. Mock tender, I think I'm getting those in next week. some chuck tenders, some chuck Scotch mock tenders. For anyone who don't know, that's 3 different words for the same cut. You can call it a chuck, you can call it a mock, or you can call it a Scotch tender. Close to Oklahoma, I'm in Idaho. I think that's what OK is, right? Oklahoma? Okay, yeah, I think so. Again, I did not pay attention to school. I got passing grades so I could play basketball. That was my goal. You call anything Chuck you don't know about me? No. You don't want to do it that way because the Chuck's the chest area. My work keeps all the pork fat in a big garbage can like the one behind you. Do you think they use it for sausage or something, or does it get tossed? Or whatever that meat department they always see. If it's pork fat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would think that they might be saving it for hunters, or yeah, if it's just pork fat, I would think that they'd be saving it for hunters. But if it's a mix of pork trimmings, what the fuck was that? It's going to be saved for pork sausage. Although storing it in a trash can is a bit weird. Just my personal thought on it. Chuck eyes are better than rib eyes. They're basically the same thing, so your argument is kind of invalid. This is boneless sirloin. This whole bag just going to go into roasts. Got them on sale this week for $1.99 a pound. We're going to do about 2 soakers in each of these because we're going to do about 2 roasts in each of these. Why I'm saying 2 roasts is because these are fucking small sirloin roasts. It pisses me off when they send me shit like this. Like, genuinely pisses me off. If I were to use this for pork chops, it wouldn't do anything. Not a single fucking thing. Like, look at this. How is that okay? How is it okay to slaughter a pig that's only giving you a roast that's this big? Someone please tell me how this is okay. Pads are to soak up the meat juice. Gotcha. It's a small mini boot 30-gallon. Gotcha. Fat, but some trimmings, and that's why I was confused since they leave it in a garbage can. I don't even think it has a bag in it. If it doesn't have a bag in it, it might just be getting thrown out. You run a kill floor for a meat processing facility? Well, quit sending me pork sirloin roasts that are that small, please. This is more how they're supposed to look, okay? Soups and okay. Tallow might it might be for tallow. That might be what it's for. That's a good idea. Yeah. See, now these are how big those roasts are supposed to look. See the difference? See the difference? This one could have been alive for a little bit longer. This one's perfect. Now cutting your boneless sirloin roasts into pork sirloin chops, how I was taught to decipher the front from the back is this front. You get this little fat thing right here, right in the center on every single one. When you flip it over, it's not there, it just kind of slopes down. So you get this piece right here in the middle on every single one of these. This one's a little bit harder to see because the roast was kind of trimmed up a little shitty, but it's there on every single roast. Every single roast. Again, that one might be a little bit harder to see. Oh, look, then we got another short roast. Here. Fucking switch that one out. How much cost for the beef? Sorry, I'm trying to look, I'm reading between two chats. Some chat moves quicker than the other, so I forget to look at this one because I'm not sure if it's moved yet. And I'm also trying to cut the meat without cutting a finger off. If I miss a comment, I'm sorry. How much for the beef? It just depends. The sirloin tip, the steaks are $5.49 a pound, I believe. The tri-tip's $8.99 a pound. And then the New York for the family pack, it's going to be $13.99 a pound. And then for a single steak, it's $14.99 a pound. Bola, hello. Pig fat, yeah, you get more. You get more pig fat off than you do beef normally, because a lot of the times the beef's going into the trim or staying on. I think. Yeah, no, because the fat that you get from the fat that you throw away from a beef, it's still normally that slimy, thin, soft fat. You don't really want to do too much with that. You can use it, but it takes a lot longer, and you need a lot more of that fat to get a yield to get tallow, beef tallow, than if you're actually using thick pieces of fat. So this week we got sirloin chops on sale for $2.49 a pound for family pack. And then the roasts are $1.99 a pound. Again, if you need a knife to use, I highly suggest Knife Pro Cutlery. This is their 12-inch, not 12-inch. Why am I trying to add an inch? God. It's not like I'm talking about meat or anything. I don't need to add an inch or anything. Like, fuck. This is my 11-inch Knife Pro steak knife. Man. Hey, I hope you know my man measurement, I would say it's pretty accurate, okay? So this is a kind of a shit roast. It looks all ugly when you pull it out how you're supposed to, but then when you scrunch it all in, it looks a little bit better. Probably only get about 2 chops off of this one. Yeah, 2 chops off of this one. It's sliding everywhere. Fuck that roast. Should have just left you in as a roast. Fuck that roast. Need that knife to do my deer? Well, it's in my TikTok showcase. I believe it's only like $35, $36, somewhere in there. It's free shipping though. So you can buy this one, just this one, and get it sent to you, not having to pay shipping. Or you can buy this one, and it comes with free shipping as well. Or you can buy both of them. And they kind of look like Daryl Dixon, you know? The great 1976, thanks for the follow. No, I would say my least favorite thing to cut would be pork. I could cut beef all day, all damn day. As soon as I touch pork, I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done with my day. Now for these pieces that I've had extra, you can use these for some country style. Use those for some country style. Tallow comes from beef, lard comes from pigs. Oh, okay. Tallow's from beef, lard is from pigs. Learn something new every day. I've seen it called both. I've seen them both called lard, and I've seen them both called tallow. So I think it just depends on where you are from. Kind of like names of cuts, you know, like the picanha cap off of a top sirloin. They call that a picanha down in Brazil. Here in America, we actually call that a coulette or a rump cap. Fun fact. But I think picanha sounds cooler, so I like saying picanha. Hello from Canada. Hello. On my lunch right now. Good to see y'all. What's up, Top Dad? AKA TJ. AKA Big Papa. How's it going? Oh, it's going. I got a content restriction earlier, talking about a wiener joke earlier. That or it was hate speech. It said it was due to hate speech. I don't know what the hell who I was bagging on, but it's TikTok for you. I saw that. The eye round. Oh no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about literally for just being live. I got a content restriction. They didn't say anything about that video. Because they know what's up. All right, that is it for the cutting section of this live. Now we can go wrap the meat. I know y'all love when I wrap my meat. Junior, thanks for the follow. Oh, it's cold. It's cold. It's cold. Oh, I said it was 40 earlier. Now it's 38. That's a bit nippy back here. YouTube, I am also on YouTube. So all 289 and 291 of you people over here on TikTok better be subscribed to the YouTube. Because once we hit the first of the year, I'm doing a giveaway on one of my knives and a Tristanthemeatman shirt for reaching 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Still got time to see what we can reach. I do want to say if we can reach like 5,000 by the end of the year, which isn't going to happen, but I'll shave. I'll go bald. Not really. No. I'm scared to do that. Wondering if TikTok is ran by Gen Zers that gets their feelings hurt every time you turn around. They probably do. But if we're being honest, it's ran by a bunch of people who are upset that Daddy J. Trump won presidency. Wrap it up, but gotta be safe. Yeah, you know, that's what they normally say, you know. It's all about being safe. You don't want to have no kids. I mean, this is how I wrap my meat up, so, I mean, you can take my advice on how to wrap the meat or not, but I do have 2 kids. So obviously some meat wasn't getting wrapped. Am I right? Am I right? Nah, both my kids were planned. 100% planned kids. No accidents around here. It is what it is. What it is. Thanks for the follow. Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Wendy got pregnant because Burger King forgot to wrap its Whopper. Oh! Good life, good life, man. Good life. I'd say so. There's been some haters on here. Where you been, man? What do you mean where I've been? I've been posting. I go live every Wednesday. I really wasn't feeling that good today, but you can't tell, so sucking it up. And I'm going live tonight on Twitch. If you guys aren't following on Twitch, make sure to follow on Twitch. I'm going live when I get home. I will be playing either some Call of Duty 6 or Fortnite or both. So, maybe some Rainbow Six. It just depends. Y'all would like to see, y'all can find me everywhere. Y'all can literally stalk me. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on YouTube. Y'all can stalk me if you want it. What do you play at COD? I haven't played Call of Duty in a couple years. I just updated the game yesterday, so I don't know what's going to be available. I don't even know. But I used to make kids cry on Call of Duty, and I know I can still do it, so we'll be back. I used to play a lot of zombies. I never got to streaming at that point of my gaming career, but I used to be really good at zombies. Like, what's an example? I used to just fuck around and get up to like round 50 on Kino back in the day when it first came out. I love zombies. Wait, I have the free version, so do I only get Warzone? I mean, I guess I could buy it. Oh, fuck, I don't want it. Why do games have to be so fucking expensive? I think that's why I stopped playing Call of Duty. I forgot. $47 for you? Oh, well, then I might just be playing some Warzone later. So if anyone wants to run some duos or try and stream snipe me or whatever, or box fights, 1v1 build fights, you know, we can do whatever. We'll run it all up. Someone just tried calling me spam. I'm sorry. Blame the spam. It's not my fault. Send you my game. Hell yeah. Oh fuck. You all distract me so goddamn much, it's almost ridiculous. So it's like you want me to put a family pack out at $14.99 a pound instead of $13.99 a pound. Yeah. How does the sausage make? What do you mean, how does the sausage make? Again, I appreciate you all for tuning in. Unrelated question, do you think crypto is legit or a ripoff? If I would have had even $5 to put into Bitcoin back when it first blew up, I would have done it. I didn't know anything about it, and I really wish I would just put like $5 or $10 into Bitcoin, because that's the matter of being hundreds of thousands of dollars richer right now or not. The other crypto, I really don't know too much about. I tell you right now, that Talk Tool, whatever crypto coin it was. Whoever fell for that shit, come on. I wish I would buy it all at the beginning at $100, one Bitcoin. It wasn't $100 for just one Bitcoin though. It was like 30 cents for a Bitcoin back in the day. Imagine going and putting $100 on a Bitcoin. Oh my God. I legit thought about putting a couple dollars down into it, but then my ex-wife was like, no, don't do that. Last time I've ever listening to a woman tell me what to do. God damn. Yeah, at the beginning it was 20 cents. Okay. Rob Snyder. Which one's Rob Snyder? I don't think I've ever seen Rob Snyder. He's the one who does the Justice League remake though, right? The hot chick. I'm so confused. That's confusing the hell out of me right now. Oh, the hot chick Talk to her? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She started the Hawk Tula coin or something like that, and basically ripped everyone off. Where are you at? Idaho, Twin Falls. I wish I could say exactly where I'm at. Why can't I? Because the owner says no. Why doesn't he want free advertising for meat department prices and everything? That's old school for you. That's Zack Snyder. That's what I thought. The one who does Rob Snyder is Adam Sandler's buddy. Is he the one in Grown Up that has the hot daughters? Is that one Rob Snyder? He has like the 3 hot daughters and that one ugly. Yes. I don't see it. Maybe from a distance? I can't see myself from that distance. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. You don't look like him? Okay. So I don't see it. I could see the Mr. Beast. I could see, there's another one what was the other one that people were calling me? Oh, I know that's why you're saying yes to that's who he is. I just have someone over on YouTube saying, well, hello. No, Ethan Hawke's baby. No. It was Mr. Beast and... How goes the process, my man? It goes. Is my rapper broken? I ain't a rapper. I ain't broken. Come on. Are they sure they know who Rob Schneider is? That's what I'm saying. What's my name? It's Tristan. Tristan the Meatman. Ethan Hawke. Is he the... Hi. How you doing? That's rude. No, he's the dude from... I can't fucking think. I need to watch... I can't put no faces to these names. I don't know why. I can with the Snyder one. I have to do what I do for hours because your wrapper broke last week. I've never enjoyed having an automatic wrapper, so I've always preferred to do it this way. Denzel Washington, Training Day. Which one is Training Day? God, now you guys are... Strong bull or a strong gorilla? I'm sorry, but that gorilla's whooping that bull's ass. Whooping that bull's ass. That's not even a challenge. Need to tag the gold guy and see if he agrees if you look like... What are you talking about? Oh, the gold guy, Parker. That's who it was. I see the Mr. Beast and I see the Parker Schneider from Gold Rush. I did used to work in mining too. A little bit different mining than what Parker does, but... You have to realize that a gorilla, I'm sorry, but that gorilla's having cow for dinner. Oh, it's 5:59, okay. Exactly. So all that gorilla has to do is get its hands on those horns, and it's set from there. That's literally all it has to do. That gorilla's just gonna 5 seconds. Cow's dead. I'm the type of person that when it's gorilla versus a bear, I would still think a gorilla would win, especially if it's a razorback, silver razorback or whatever the hell that thing is. Oh yeah. Not Harambe, because that gorilla was nice and R.I.P. Harambe. R.I.P. He was a nice, respectable gorilla. Oh, black bear's getting smoked by a gorilla. Black bear is smoked by a gorilla. I'm talking about like a grizzly bear. Grizzly bear versus gorilla. I could see that being even 50-50. Strength and brains for the gorilla. The only thing that bear is going to do is just charge. Yeah, it has those talons, but that bear has to be able to get close enough to do that. That gorilla can get on the back of that bear. It's gone. It's gone. Polar bears are smaller than grizzly bears, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I would even take a gorilla over a polar bear, right? Aren't polar bears smaller than grizzly bears, right? Or am I wrong, chat? Grizzly bears are bigger? I'm not gonna lie, I only know who Rob Schneider is because of Adam Sandler. I don't think I've seen any of his just standalone movies. Polar bears are the biggest? No shit. Polar bears are okay. I still think a gorilla would beat a polar bear. I think it'd be a little bit more difficult of a fight. I think a polar bear would have a bigger chance than a grizzly bear. But I don't know what I'm doing. Confusing myself over here. Why am I so good at wrapping meat? Because I've been doing this for 7 years. I mean, my two kids would disagree that I'm good at wrapping meat. Right? Hey, have a good day at work. Gorilla or humans armed to the teeth? Well, humans would win every time if we're armed to the teeth. That's why there's no more 50-foot alligators, crocodiles in the Amazon. And yes, I can guarantee you, before guns came around, there were 50-foot alligators, even 60-foot alligators in the Amazon. I would guarantee it. Now? No. I guarantee you all of them have been shot and killed. They're the most dangerous bear because they're probably just tired of dealing with constant bullshit. Telling me I gotta swim across the ocean to get to this block of fucking ice, to swim to this next block of ice, to get to this block of ice before I get to this goddamn seal. Fuck off. That's probably exactly what they're thinking. Out of family pack stickers. Got more coming in tomorrow. And yes, I did throw that across the shop. It's fine, we're overdue for an ice age. I think we actually are. That's a heat wave. I think the world naturally goes through heating and cooling periods. I think there is probably a little bit of a what's the thing that global. I think there might be global warming, but I don't even think we're warming up. I'm pretty sure we're cooling down. So how does that correspond with global warming? You know what I mean? trying to get your money. It's just another way. We got to donate to global warming. We got to stop doing this because this is for global warming. But if we do this, it's going to be more expensive. But we got to do it because of global warming. Can't convince me otherwise. Do I clean the room? Yep. I cut, I clean, I wrap, I order, I do inventory, I change prices, pre-commits. I do everything. Let me just tell you right now to my chat. It's cold in here, but we gonna survive. My best Obama impression, everyone. The only thing nastier than a polar bear is a hungry bear, but thankfully I don't need to outrun a bear, I just need to outrun you. Exactly. But if we're being honest, the only thing that the bear has to worry about at that point is Smith and Wesson. So I ain't going no bear country with just my hands. Spit on that thing. Hello, sister. It's gonna be a nice big old package of stew meat right there. If I don't say so myself, I see it, I see it. If I don't say so myself. Sorry, sick days. I'm probably weirder than I normally am. I'm very foggy up in my head right now. I'm surprised I haven't stuttered about 100 times. Best cut of beef, in my opinion, would be a ribeye because of that spinalis dorsi cap on it. Couldn't get a ribeye though, I would highly recommend you go to picanha cap off of the top sirloin. It's my second favorite cut of meat, in my opinion. Because in my opinion, I think a filet mignon, aka a filet McNaught, because do not buy it. And I'm just saying don't buy it because I really want the beef industry to be like, hey, maybe they will fucking stop. Maybe it's because we have filet mignon up to $20-something a pound, $30-something a pound. That's why they're not buying it. But no, you have people who don't care about the price and so they buy it. So until you see that bitch go down, I would just recommend don't buy no filet mignon. New subscriber, hey, thanks. Thank you, Daily NMD. I round for cube steak, correct. I round for stew meat, correct. Now this is where everyone's gonna come at my neck. I round for stir fry. That's what I do. Can make a profit off of I round. Everything else, it's like barely making anything, so. Alien Head, I do want to appreciate you for being a kind of a constant in the lives. I do see you pop up quite a bit. I put a stew meat on the thin sliced. There we go. What's up, Brandy? Hi, I was told that if a product stays in the store more than 30 days, it loses its value. I've never been told of that. I think it just depends because beef, pork, you know, that's something you don't really want to have more than, you don't want to have that in your cooler for 30 days. I mean, pork was good from the pack date to when we get it. Pork gets like 30 to 35 days. Beef gets anywhere from 45 to 50 days, depending on how cool you store it. So if you're getting close to that, 9 times out of 10, the meat cutter is going to mark it down because he'd rather make a little bit of money than no money and completely lose all the money off of that. So, known you for a while now. Keep up the good work. I'm making profit margins. Sell more rapidly. I kind of agree. But at the same time, it's what am I trying to say here? Well, what's your profit margins? So I'm hitting like a 30 to 33%. By the end of the quarter, I need to be sitting at 20% profit. So I need to be hitting 30% in sales or my markups. E. Cooper, thanks for the heart meme. So I'm trying to explain this. I might with a foggy head. Where were we at with this? I fucking forget. Okay. Okay, so when we bring our meat in, and then I cut it up, from the price that it brought in at to everything being taken off and everything else, we're making about a 30% by the time it's in here. Now, not everything in the department though is marked up to 30%. Like some things like that I get it from Ball's brand or some ready-to-go items, like our pre-packed filet mignon, bacon wrapped filet mignons. We don't make really anything off of those. When we get those in, we get them in at like 11 something, and we usually have them on sale for $11.99. So there's some parts where we aren't hitting our 30%. So overall, at the end of my quarter, I need to be up at 20%. If that makes sense. The electricity isn't cheap for business, correct? I don't know what our power bill is. I really don't know what the power bill is. The only thing that runs off of the electricity every day back here would be my wrapper, my pricer, my thing that prints out my price tags, and my lights. And now I use a saw maybe twice a week, every other week to once every 3 weeks. Bone-in products don't really sell here. And I only cut bone-in products when they're on sale. And I've actually stopped bringing in T-bones. Like we have T-bone on sale the first week of New Year's. I said, fuck that. I said a big old fuck that. And it's because I lose everything on the T-bone, basically, a T-bone box. no one wants to buy it. I don't know what it is. You'll have people, oh, where's the T-bone at? Where's the T-bone at? Where's the T-bone at? And then you cut a T-bone. Sorry, YouTube, I need a sticker back here. Maybe. Got it. Need a sticker, a pork roast sticker. How's boneless cuts of meat made with this regular knife? We're making like 1 cent off of every gallon of gasoline. Jesus. Why, that's not even worth it. Chicken wings, all my chicken's about 30%. My chicken wings come in at like low three something a pound, and I have them set for $4.29. I want to say that's probably the one thing I really don't make my profit on for chicken, but it's because anything higher than $4.29 for chicken is, or chicken wings is not going to sell. I tried it. I tried it at like $4.59, $4.69 one time because of it was like $3.40 to bring it in, and that shit wasn't selling at all. So now I really order it when it's on sale, because then I get it for like $2 something, and then it's on sale for like $3.79, and then I put it up to $4.29. Knives, but it's because I don't have the right stuff back here. I have a whetstone, but I've looked at the whetstone and it's riveted. It's got a big old dip on all the sides, and once you get to your whetstone being dipped really bad in every single one on every single side, you don't want to use it anymore. I know you're not supposed to double wrap your meat. We're not talking about the meat in your pants. This meat's okay to double wrap. If you're gonna double wrap that meat, well, I would just recommend you should just go home, because if you're trying to double wrap, that's probably a anyway. I'm working for a small store. You look like Parker from Gold Rush. I've heard that before. He's having a very rough season this year, I can tell you that much right now. Damn weather. Damn Grant. The damn gold vein. Do I deal with fish as well? I do not. I can't sell fresh fish here at all, like at all. So I don't bring it in because I don't want to lose money. Bereen. I'm gonna go with Bereen. Thanks for the follow. Do I sell a lot of pork chops? It's hit and miss. They like to buy the bone-in pork chops, my assorted chops, more. But every now and then they'll go on like these really big boneless pork loin chop buys. Not as much, but I'm genuinely very cold right now. Oh. I like to see how much people pay attention to what I do, because like how I was saying, how I'm saying hello. That's Crow Boy. Ah! Just trying to see if anyone picks up what I'm dishing out. But I really appreciate you all for tuning in. Pretty much done for the day. Got one more package to wrap. Good live. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Again, if you ain't following on Twitch, make sure you follow me on Twitch as well. So I will be trying my best to go live tonight when I go home. I don't have anything to do. Don't have anyone to see. Just a lonely guy who's gonna go home and play some video games. Might as well go live and do it, right? So that's what we're gonna do. Solid meat wrapping. Hey, I appreciate it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is it for today. We did some strip steaks, aka New York. We did some sirloin tip. We did some tri-tip. Some pork loin into boneless, thin cut pork loin chops, and into a pork loin roast, and then some sirloin chops and a sirloin roast. Thank you all for tuning in. Get my head up from behind this pole over here so you can actually see my pretty face. But I appreciate you all for tuning in. YouTube, appreciate you all for the new subscribes, all the chats. 45 likes today. We got up to like 100 and something people into YouTube today. Really appreciate you all. Love you all. TikTok and YouTube. If you ain't following on the YouTube, make sure you go subscribe. And also subscribe to the Twitch. Meatman out. Thank you all for the gifts, for the new follows and subscriptions. Love you all. Deal with you last because I love you, YouTube. Appreciate you all. Meatman out of here. Maybe see y'all later. Have a good one.